Nicole Connors, 52 years old. Police department said that a 15-year-old was responsible for the mass shooting that killed 5 people and injured 2 others on Thursday night. So this lady was caught up in a mass shooting. The shooting started around 5 p.m. in the Hedingham neighborhood near Osby Cove Drive and Bay Harbor Drive. Raleigh Police Chief said on Friday morning that the crime scene spanned around 2 miles across the neighborhood. So this little 15-year-old was just out in this town killing people, random people. The suspect, he first shot a relative of his inside of their home. Then he went outside and he shot 2 women in the streets of the neighborhood before running towards Neuse River Greenway Trail. Before getting to the trail, he shot a cop, Officer Gabriel Torres, who was on his way to start his shift with the police department. He's an off-duty police officer. The shooter shot him for no reason. He's bleeding from the chest. That's what a caller told 911. Next, the teen made his way onto the Greenway Trail where he opened fire, killing 2 more people. And that's where this woman, Nicole, I don't know why they're not saying her name, but this is where the lady Nicole was shot on this trail. She was exercising, jogging. Witnesses said that the suspect was armed with a long gun, but investigators have not released any confirmation or specifics about the weapon. Terror spread throughout the city Thursday evening as the suspect remained at large for hours, with police calling it an active shooter situation. So while all these people was getting shot randomly all over the town, for hours, nobody really knew who was really doing it. He was just on the loose. Eventually, a RPD K-9 officer tracked the suspect to a shed where he barricaded himself after the shootings. During the standoff, the K-9 officer was wounded and taken to a hospital where he was treated and released. Shortly after 9 p.m., the team was taken into custody. He had life-threatening injuries when he was brought in. Investigators said that he was in critical condition. So they shot him too. Yo, that's wild, yo. ABC News has confirmed that he was a relative of one of the victims that he killed. So actually he killed his family member. The shooter's motives remain unknown. This lady, Nicole Connors, she was a bride-to-be, it says. So she was engaged to get married. A 18-year-old male was arrested and charged in connection with the shooting death of a 15-year-old on a subway train in Queens Friday, the NYPD said. Keandre Russell of Queens was charged with murder and criminal possession of a weapon on Saturday, according to police. J. John Burnett was shot in the chest aboard on a southbound A train between the 20. It don't matter where it happened in between. It happened around 3:45 on board of a southbound A train. 2 groups of young individuals were engaged in a verbal dispute. Okay, so 2 groups of little teenagers was arguing, and it quickly escalated, resulting in a 15-year-old getting shot in his chest. The NYPD said at a press conference on Friday night. the injured teen was pulled off the train by a good Samaritan. Man, shut up. The injured teen was pulled off the train. I hate when they say stuff like good Samaritan. Because these same devils will punish you for speaking the truth. That's not a good Samaritan, someone who speaks truth. Shut up. NYP officers, Malcolm X wasn't a good Samaritan, someone who spoke up for his people. What was he considered as? He was marked for death by these same bastards. I don't want to hear no good Samaritan. Anybody who helps them do their job is a good Samaritan. I don't want to hear it. NYPD officers at the station then administered aid. This young man died, shot in his chest. On October 13th, shortly after midnight, officers responded to a home in reference to a shooting. The victim was identified as Carl Stas, 19 years old. He was transported to the hospital where he received emergency care, and then he was transferred by life flight to Albany. So they probably flew him somewhere on a helicopter. But he died of his wounds. Police have charged a 14-year-old boy for the murder, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a person under 18 years old. This is an active and ongoing investigation, bro. He was murdered by a 14-year-old, man. Bruh. It says Lake football player shot and killed in Scott County. A school football player died in a shooting in Scott County on Thursday. The shooting happened on Johnsontown Road around 3:30 p.m. The sheriff, once the deputies arrived, they found 18-year-old Travis Jones had been shot and his car had crashed into the woods. Jones was pronounced dead at the scene. He died from a gunshot wound. According to Lee, a 13-year-old was taken by a personal vehicle to Lakey Memorial with a gunshot wound to the leg. The teen was later airlifted to the Mississippi Medical Center, and he's in stable condition. The 13-year-old was not in the truck. This 13-year-old was a bystander when somebody came and started shooting at this 18-year-old's car. Both these two teenagers was hit. One died and one was just wounded in the leg. It says someone drove by and fired a shot. Investigators believe the two incidents are related, though. Oh. It says later that evening, some of the football players gathered at the high school coach's house, and someone drove by and fired a shot at them. Yo. This is deep. What's going on? Are you serious? So they gathered in memorial of the young man who was killed, and somebody drove by the coach's house and fired a shot. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. Is it that serious? I mean, dang. All right. Look at this young lady. Her name's Ashanti Hyman. She's 20 years old. It says officials in Martin County confirmed 2 are dead and 2 others are hospitalized. It happened around 8 o'clock Wednesday, October 12th, when deputies were dispatched Police found 3 victims. 2 of them was dead at the scene, and 1 of them was injured. The injured woman was taken. That don't make sense because they said there was 2 people dead and 2 people injured. They were taken to the hospital. Police identified Daquan Lamar Smith, 24 years old, as a suspect. And that's him in the picture right there. Smith was taken to General Hospital and is charged with 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. No. Police identified Daquan Lamar Smith, 24, as a suspect. It says Smith, the shooter, was found at his residence suffering from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital and charged on 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. This dude messed around and shot himself. He was probably going to try to say self-defense, or he literally probably shot himself. He killed these people. He killed this young lady. Man, that's wild, bro. Sinzay Reed. He's only 13 years old. All right, so this happened in Columbus, Ohio. A 36-year-old man has been charged in connection to the shooting and killing of a 13-year-old boy in the Hilltop neighborhood on Wednesday. A 36-year-old man opened fire on this little 13-year-old boy. Police arrested Craig Allen Butler, 36 years old, on Thursday for shooting this 13-year-old. According to the Columbus Division of Police, Reed's death marked the 111th homicide so far in this year in Columbus. Officers responded to reports of a shooting around 5:56 p.m. on Wednesday. Reed was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and he was pronounced dead about an hour later. Butler was seen exiting his truck, shooting Reed, and then getting back in his truck and leaving, according to the arrest warrant. Why would you pull up in your truck, bro? Shoot a little 13-year-old and then leave. What would make you do that? What could he have done? Reed's killing, and this is an almost 40-year-old man. Reed's killing marks the second teen killed by gun violence in just 3 days, because a 15-year-old was shot in Franklin Park on Monday afternoon. Bro, what? Yo. Okay, so they killed somebody's baby. So nigga, you pull up and just shoot somebody's baby. That's what you do. You just pull up and shoot somebody's baby. These niggas, bro. This lady's name is Venus Bond. She's 50 years old. Okay, so this lady died at that house. She died. Okay, she died at the house with the little girl. It says it happened around 8 p.m. Wednesday when deputies were dispatched. The police found 3 victims, 2 who were dead. Okay, so it was this woman and that little girl, that 20-year-old girl, who's the one that was dead on the scene. Police identified Daquan Lamar Smith as a suspect. Okay. Well, So this woman died, and if I ain't mistaken, that girl that's to the right of this woman is the other one who died. So I'm guessing that this is mother and daughter. Yeah, they look just alike. This mother and daughter died at this house. Okay, this little dude, his name is Deshaun McNeil. He's 16 years old. He's already acting gangster. He already got his hand up like he's shooting at the camera. It's a darn shame. The little boy was born. Look at the day he was born. Look at his birth date. He was born 2006, and he's already dead 2022. Killed. It says a high school student was shot and killed Tuesday night after 10 p.m. when officers responded to the 700 block of West Main Street near a park where they located 16-year-old Deshaun McNeil, a student at Trenton High School. Gunshot wound to his lower torso. The teen was transported to the local hospital where he died as a result of his injuries. Authorities in Irwin and Harnett County hoped a blue Toyota they stopped Wednesday morning, going more than 100 miles an hour, would provide a link to the case. However, authorities have ruled that out. 2 additional occupants apparently fled on foot a little way up the road. So there's still an active scene up the road where this is connected in our incident last night. We're still trying to connect the dots and figure out what happened. The vehicle was impounded. The driver is being charged with fleeing and eluding law enforcement. There goes another young boy. His name is Ethan. This is all around this week. His name is Ethan Holder, age 19. It says Brooklyn rapper has a tattoo that says good intentions, but the gun in his hand says death. The NYPD say that he admits to street execution. The upbeat tattoo of an aspiring Brooklyn rapper's arm was at odds with a gun that's in his hand. Murder suspect Javier Oates, 19, was held without bail Thursday at the Brooklyn Criminal Court appearance, where a prosecutor said that the defendant confessed to the cold-blooded slaying of a fellow teen outside of a local store and admitted ditching the murder weapon in his mother's backyard. And that's it. That's all it says. Yeah, this is deep, bro. It's these movies. It's this music. It's these freaking video games. It's these schools. It's the way that they teach us. We let the society raise us and raise our children. We trust this crap. We think that this is living life. You get frowned upon when you say hell no. When you get frowned upon when you say I don't want any parts in none of this crap. I'm just gonna read the Bible. I'm just gonna teach the truth. I'm just gonna deal with the truth. It's like, no, you have to be a member of this society, bro. It's like through all of the programming, you have to somehow become some businessman who extorts money out of the poor people of his neighborhood, who extorts money out of the people who are already poor and struggling. That's the goal. Make it out and become a realtor, somebody's landlord who's living check to check already, and take their money to live inside of your establishment. It's a business opportunity. It's business for you. It's personal for them. And it's terrible. This state of existence is terrible. It's bloody. It's dark. It's demented. It's wild. These little boys, bro. These little girls are getting blasted. How many of these people thought, what about that girl? What about that little 20-year-old girl and her mother? You think they really, when they woke up that morning, you really thought that they'll be getting shot? That we're both going to get shot, executed today? We're going to get shot today. We're getting all dressed up tonight, getting all cute to go get blasted, left bloody. You can't deal with people. You can't go to these cookouts. You can't go to these parties. You shouldn't be heading out on Friday night no more. You shouldn't be heading out on Saturday night no more. You shouldn't be gathering up around these crazy people. You can't do that. These dudes are not men. All you got to do is break their heart and they'll blast you. All you got to do is yo, these people are crazy, bro. I bet you the daughter was dating that crazy ass nigga. I bet you any amount of money the daughter was dating that crazy ass nigga. This is wild. 36-year-old man pulls out a gun and just starts shooting at a 13-year-old boy? Are you serious? Little 13-year-old don't know nothing about life. The boy probably don't even know how to fix himself something to eat. The little boy don't even know how to cook a meal, man. He don't know how to cook no meal. You can't tell him make a bowl, make some chili, make some fried chicken. He don't even know how to probably wipe his butt right. The boy don't know the first steps. None of these niggas run around here killing. None of these niggas run around here killing, and none of these little boys that's dying. They don't know how to wash a load of some laundry. They don't know how to do no laundry. They'll tear your stuff up. You rely on them to do the laundry. And they out here shooting and getting murdered. This is wild. This is wild. I don't even really know what to say, man. I don't even know what to say. All I can tell you to do is get right. Get right with the Most High. Get right. Leave that life alone. Get out of the party life. Get off the scene. But brace for impact. I'm out. I'll see you on the next one.